All right, friends, it's kind of raining, but hey, that's okay. We don't have the trailer hooked up, but we are, in fact, today going to another auction. So we're going to get started right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Ross the Oliver Man, and there is an auction today. It was kind of a hurried affair, I guess, because the person needs to get out of the place. They sold it and whatever. But there are a few things I'm mildly interested in if they bring cheap enough. And I went with my friend who's the auctioneer yesterday, and I videotaped it. So today we're going to go back and see if we acquire anything. So I will show you the footage from yesterday right now. All right, friends, it's auction time again, and we're going to look at some of this stuff that's out here. I came here with my friend the auctioneer on the day before. He's got some stuff to set up, but we're going to check things out. Over here, there's two tractors that you may recognize because they sold several years ago, and I actually filmed that. These had belonged to a friend of mine, and I think they've gone downhill in condition a little bit. The auctioneer was telling me that the guy said that they were stuck, but he got them unstuck or something. So, I don't know. That one looks like it turns, but it's missing the hood. My friend had restored these years ago, and this one, the gas tank leaked, and it did that. And I thought he had sold it with another gas tank, but whatever. This is what I'm mainly here for. I would be mildly interested in this. Yeah, not my color, but it's cool because I knew who had it. This is the shotgun barrel, drove on this handle. The old guy that my friend bought it from told him about that was a shotgun barrel, drove on there, and he said, well, I'm just going to leave it. So anyway, that's kind of neat. A G John Deere, that's another thing I wouldn't mind to have, but I'd say it will have plenty of interest in it. I don't know if they got it running or not. And then here is an F20, which for years sat in the guy's driveway, my friend's driveway, on blocks. He had it all primered and ready to paint, and he kind of lost interest. It had all nice new tires on round spoke rims, and he finally decided he was over it and put it together and sold it on that auction several years ago at the show at the fairgrounds. So yeah, okay, I bet this one's stuck. He's got the plugs out of it. That's a shame. If it's, well, I'm not up on all this. There we go. No, that's locked up pretty good. So who knows, that might be a deal. We'll see. We'll check out all the stuff here. Livestock trailer, Massey Ferguson combine, 510. There used to be like these were popular way back in the day, these Massey combines. That was the thing to have, but not so much anymore, you know. That one really isn't. I don't think it looks too bad, other than the dent in the tail. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it runs or what the story is, but we'll learn that later. There's a dump truck. Big IH dump truck. I think there's some stuff in these buildings. We'll take a look at that before we walk out to to the field of failure out here where it's got all the miscellaneous things. But all kinds of stuff on wagons. I think he was telling me that there was a brand new radiator for like a Jubilee Ford, which if that's true, we need to find that and acquire it, because I'm pretty sure my Jubilee Ford, the radiator is not very good. So I don't know. Lots of miscellaneous farm things that you see. I don't know that there's anything super that we can't live without, you know. But sure. We'll go over here and look in this other building. He brought the auction trailer and he's setting that up while I'm doing this. See? Teamwork. Park it at an angle so that when the people pay, the money just falls in the trailer. I looked at it a minute ago. Where's that radiator at? In here?
And these wagons sell too.
Oh, the wagon, okay.
And that trailer, I don't know if that's actually mounted on there.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
Unless he took it and moved it, it shouldn't be on
here. Got up and walked away.
It could be even there, put it down there.
Okay, well, we'll look. Do both of these sell too?
Yes.
There you go. Massey Ferguson 261. There's a little, that's probably a wheel horse, I bet. I saw that hanging on the wall. Only one though, huh? Yeah. Oh, we hung it on the wall with a strap. That's... There you go. Put that on your baler and it'll open the door. Well, we'll go out here to the big field here and take a look at the stuff. There's a couple weights. But those are Massey weights. But there's all kinds of parts, tractors, and pieces out here. So a lot of this is kind of rough and probably will be sold as scrap, but you know, it's still got value for some things, you know. So we'll see what I can't live without. I'm still kind of pumping the brakes, trying to save my stuff for the auction that ends next week. That's online only. I had the high bid, but I've let it lapse. I'll probably wait a little bit to rebid. It's already getting up there pretty high, but whatever. Remnants of a batwing bush hog. Rode hard and put away wet. Have to look. There might be something super in the scrap pile, you know. Massey Ferguson baler parts. This old guy, he actually owned a Vermeer dealership at one time, and the business still goes today, but it doesn't sell Vermeer. It basically sells small engines, chainsaws, mowers, that sort of thing. So anywho's, there's a nice size running gear. Easy trail, I think. Broken pole. This here tractor is the one that, I mean, it's some kind of a Ford. He called it a Jubilee, but it's not. It's later. There's the brand new radiator. I guess the old guy wanted it to go with this. That's a shame, because oh, that radiator's junk. So doesn't matter, it can go with that because it's got a hole in it. Looks like he had that sandblasted and then never followed through with it. And it's a Selecto Speed. Let's see if it's stuck. Kind of a shame, because this probably would have been a nice little tractor if it had been kept inside. I thought it moved, but I'm not getting no. Oh yeah. Okay, not stuck. There's a 30-inch tire. That must fit this too. No, those are 28s. Geez, that about tripped me. Fence wire wrapped up here. Missing the carburetor. Surface rusting from everything, but it looks like the stuff isn't stuck, so maybe it was inside somewhere and it just didn't get the treatment. But I would potentially be interested in this just for the novelty of it. Fix it up, sell it to somebody who cares. Whatever, we'll see. Concrete parking things and fence posts. I really don't have the motivation to drag home a bunch of stuff, but I could buy those parking barricades and take them up to church, put them all over the place. They'd like that, wouldn't they? Here's a couple trailer frames, and this might be a good thing, because like I said, I've been kind of looking for something that I could build a trailer on for garden tractors and just leave them mounted on there, you know. And that's the kind of thing I'm looking for, because you can make it whatever you want then. This one's, that's kind of it's got 3 axles, but they're 3 different axles. All I gotta appreciate that, because actually looking at them, they're all different. 1 2 3 4 5 1 2. Okay, front 2 are 5, and the back tag axle is the old style stuff, which that's what this is. I don't know, we'll see. I'm really not enthused about anything here. It's just I like auctions and good deals. That's a Ford plow, I believe. It's got the slat moldboards. That's kind of neat. There's a loader. I wonder if that came off of that. I don't know. Whoa, that is a gigantic hole too. There's a quick hitch. I don't know if that's like a case quick hitch. It doesn't look like a Moline quick hitch, so I don't think I have to call Moline Dan, but I'll try not to make that mistake again, you know. A Woods blade. There's an F20 that is pretty picked over, and it does have round spokes on the front. See, I feel like that's still got a lot of value as parts too. People might disagree with me. And actually, is this a narrow tread F20, or is it just look that way because it's got no tires on it? I don't know. I don't know. Has part of like a cultivator still on it. Pretty well rough, but like I said, if somebody needed parts, it looks like it's got round spokes all the way around. The back ones might be junk, but I don't know. It's just one of those things, friends. It's a shame to see it go to scrap, but it's probably not worth much more than that. There's a, I would say, a B. Pretty bad shape. That's pretty well yard art at this point. I don't know that there's a lot usable off of that one. This is like a I would say it's a wartime one, isn't it? Because it's got that steel frame like that instead of the stamped steel. I don't know. Sad to see them that way, but what are you gonna do? There's something. I bet that's like a, is that for a roll tarp, or is that like a, I don't know, like on your dump truck, dump trailer or whatever? Not sure. Part of a Kelly loader. And we got us a bush hog of some variety. I say bush hog, but it's a rotary mower, you know. Bush hog is just a a brand like people call all locking pliers vice grips, you know. It's a very light duty running gear. I think I have one like that. It's got those tall spindles. Grater blade. More loaders. That's the tiniest, that might be the tiniest pull type chisel plow I've ever seen. That's kind of neat. I wonder if somebody made that from a bigger one, or if that's really how that was. That's kind of cool. You could take an old tractor out and work that one. There's a car. Looks like nobody survived, but I would say that the car was fine and sat out here forever and then fell apart. Corvair. So is this one of the air? The thing would be in the back then, wouldn't it? Like the front was the trunk and the back? No, maybe not. Maybe those were, what were those called, you know? I don't know. 140. Is this open, or is this? Oh. Yeah. Sad. It was somebody's pride and joy at one time, and now it's pretty well, yeah. It's garbage. There's some type of a, I guess that was a batwing mower at one time too, but isn't anymore. We got a tire changer. I should probably switch batteries too, because you're down to like 10%, but we'll run with it. This is the gas tank for that F12, and I think that it should stay with the F12, but we'll see what they say. Also, the hood is missing on that F12, and I know when it left it had a hood, but whatever. There's a quick hitch. A little miscellaneous stuff. Gotta have the auction soon because the grass is growing up around the stuff. But there's another flat bottom plow, some variety. Don't know what that is. A deer cultivator. There's a plow. I don't know what flavor that is. It's a case plow. So that would be potentially the same as a white plow. I don't know. Some of them were. Some of them were. I'm going to take a picture of that case plow and confer with some experts. See what they say. But sure, there's a bigger chisel plow, some variety. There's some columns. There's some stuff here I don't think I've ever seen sell before, but a big something or other, truck bed or something somebody was going to make into a wagon. Steel wheel plow. That could be a, I don't know. I've got one similar to that. I don't know if this would be a John Deere or if this is a, I don't know. Drag disc. There's another upside down and backwards plow. Part of what used to be a, probably an air compressor. There's something that has a, I bet that was a 3-prong bale spear. Or hauled 2 bales at the same time, maybe? I don't know. A loader mount bale spear. Got a lot of bale spears, doesn't he? There's one of those crappy ones with the thick spear, and those are not very handy. John Deere disc. It's doing its best work right where it sits. Toolboxes, a Mack truck. There's a school bus that's been stripped down and made into a storage shed or something. The old Bluebird. Dodge 500. Jeez, that surprised me. A bird in there can't get out. Oh boy. Oh boy. Little honey wagon or manure wagon, as the case may be. Nancy Ferguson grain table. Wagon with steel bed. Sure, there's a little grain evader. Little, it's actually bigger than the one I got. Hydraulic something or other. That's fanciness right there. Fanciness. It's got the gates in it. We might have to see about that one. Maybe we want that instead of the one we got. Massey Ferguson wire tie baler. Couple old campers. I'd say you'll catch something in there, but I don't know what it'll be. Looks like they had some fun times in there at one time. Your mom and your aunt really went to it in there. Did some of their best work. There's a few things in this shed we'll check out. I'm kind of looking for the hood for that F12. I thought sure that it had a hood on it when my pal sold it up there. Maybe it blew off on the highway on the way home. But that gas tank, that goes with that. That was, we'll just see. Oh, it's actually quite the workout to walk across this terrain. It's, the wheel loader does not sell, so that's that. There's a big Detroit on, looks like it was driving 3 hydraulic pumps. That might be something we need, you know. We could make a fun toy out of that. There's a big something or other, Caterpillar probably, motor. Don't know. Don't know. That would probably be handy, you know, but it's not for sale. Oh, there's some more. I forgot there was another tractor. There's a Ford wheel and rim, spin out. Uses a slot, that slot style. That's a little different if you see it work. wonder what that was. It went a gate down in there. I don't know. There's a case. I don't know if it's a runner. It's been my experience that case tractors just don't. I don't think it's stuck in. Maybe it's a runner. But what I'm saying is, it's been my experience that case tractors just don't bring a lot of money for whatever reason. So, you know, if I could have that for a couple $100, I'd buy it. I mean, sure. Welder outfit. Yeah. Well, this is interesting. Like I said, there's nothing super duper valuable here, but definitely some stuff that I wouldn't mind to have if it's cheap enough, you know. Like I said, F12, I'd like that for two reasons. Number one, that's the first tractor that my grandpa drove, was an F12 on steel. So I wouldn't mind to have one just to say I had one. Number two, I know the old guy who fixed that one up really well, and I'd like to have it because it was his. But we'll just see. I'm not willing to pay thousands of dollars for it, no. But anyway, we'll be back tomorrow and see what happens. It's supposed to be terrible weather and raining and awful, so that's perfect, because there might be a lot of deals to be had. So we'll just see. But I'm taking this up there with that, because that is supposed to go with this. So I'll see if I can convince him of that. Maybe not, but it should at least be near the tractor. All right, it's sale day, so hopefully we will get there without incident, and we'll see what happens. Oh, the joys of highway construction. Everywhere I go, no matter what direction I drive in, I'm running into this kind of stuff. Time stoplights, one lane traffic. Also, it's raining, and it's gonna be that way all day, so that might be good, because maybe we'll get a smoking deal on something, you know. I don't know, but it's worth a try. Oh. Anywho's, we're probably we're a little more than halfway there, maybe. So I'll bring you back whenever we get there.
Now 800. Now 800. Gotta be 8 where? Who's 8 where? I told you it ought to be an $800 tractor all day long. Nobody's listening to me. 775. Gotta be 800. Ain't gotta be 8 where? Gotta be 800. I've been 775. Gotta be 800. All done. Gotta be 800. Anybody else want in? Gotta be $800. Sold them $775. You tell me 119. 119. 119. Take a look back here before we get too far. We've got a dolly right there. We've got a jack. What about a trailer jack right there? That's brand new. We got the F12. F12, what you see is what you get. The F12 is not stuck, but it is not running. F12 not stuck, not running. All right, got a gas tank for it. Got the hood for it. On steel wheels. Got the single steel in the front. And what you see is what you get right there. F12 not stuck but not running. How many dollars right there? Make yourself a little project right there. And how many dollars can you tell me on the F12, guys? How many dollars? You tell me $1,000 here, but 1,000 where, but 1,000 go, but 1,000 where? Have I got 1,000 go, but $1,000 where? 200. Now 2 1/4, gonna be 220, 2 1/4, gonna be 2 1/2, and now 250, now 75, and now 300, and now 3 1/4, and 3 1/2, and 75, and 400, and a 4 1/4, 4 1/2, and a 450, and a 450, 4 1/4, 4 1/2, and a 450, 50 bomb, and a 450, 4 1/4, 4 1/2, and a 450, 75, and now 500, and now 5 1/4, 5 1/2, and a 550, and now 550, now 75, and now 600, and a 5, 75, and 600, gonna be 6 and 6 and and 600, and 575 and 600, gonna be 6 all done, gonna be 600, 575 and now 600, all done and all three, gotta be 600. Sold them here $575, buyer 2828 the buyer. John Deere G, a little different story. Make sure she's in here, still fellas, guys, been off and on of it all day. Ready? sounds good, though. Yeah, he said all he did really was just put it in a parade. He brought it home and smeared some paint on it, put it in a parade. And that's taller than me. I'm going to camera all you see. All right, don't let me miss you, gang. Don't let me miss you. All right, it's all about the John Deere being how many dollars? Right here, guys. I don't know about this guy. Drive it home if you want to. It is $3,000 here, but where? She's a runner. Have I got $3,000? Have it $1,000 in the 1,100. I've got $1,000, 1,100. Where you got 1,100? I've got $1,000 in the 1,100. I've got $1,000. Got to be 1,100 cheap, and I've got to be 11 where? Ain't got to be 1,100. $1,000 in the 11. 11 got to be 1,100. I've got $1,000. 1,100. What's wrong with it?
Yeah.
11, 1,200, 12, and now 13.
Yeah.
And now 13, now 14, 14, now
Yeah.
15, 15, now 1,600, now 16, now 16, now 16, now 15, now 1,600, and now 16, now 15, now 16, 16, got to be $1,600. Where I'm at 15, now 16, and now 16, got to be 1,600. I'm at 15. Would you get 1,600 all done? Got to be 16. I'm not going to beg you guys, but I think we're under their money. 1,500 and now 16. 16 all done and all through. Got to be 1,600 last call. 16. Sold them here $1,500. Buyer 28. Buyer 28. F20 engine's locked. F20 the engine's locked. He said it was locked. He got it unlocked, and guess what? It's stuck again. So there you go. So what you see is what you get on the F20. Take a look right here. What have we got in tires and rims, guys? Look past the stuck engine if you would. Look past that and look what you got in tires and rims. If you would. All right, got to buy the F20 right there, and how many dollars? Right there, and $1,000 there, but 1,000 where?
200.
200, now 3. Got to be 3, and now 400,
Yeah.
and now 4, and now 500. I've been 5, would you get 600, and now 7. 7 got to be 800, and no 8 where? 7 and no 8 got to be 7, 8 where? Got to be 800. I've been 7 and no 800, and the 7.5 help you, Rusty. Got to be 750. 700, 7 1/4 help you. 725, 7 1/4. I'm at 700, 7 1/4. Quarter got to be 725, 700, 7 1/4. 7 1/4, 700, 725, 7 1/4. Quarter, bottom 1/4. 7 1/4, 700, 725, 7 1/4, 700, 7 1/4. Oh, y'all done all through. 725. Last call, 7 1/4. Sold them here at $700. 103 buys, 103.
You know where that comes from, don't you? From Brownstown. He had that tractor out there on blocks ready to be painted for years, and he never got around to it, and he sold them a couple years ago at the fairgrounds. This and that 12 both. Wilcutt thought he was bidding on this, but he was bidding on the 12, so he said, I'll take them both.
Yeah.
But that's got brand new tires and all those round spoke rims. If you want to fix one up, that's the one to fix up, because it wouldn't take much to finish it out.
I don't think the motor's stuck.
No, I messed with it yesterday, and so, but I'm saying that's not one to part out. If you, no, it's definitely worth.
It's going in a barn.
Yeah, because it a coat of paint, and you'll be about there.
Yes, sir, buddy.
But yeah, I bet he hasn't owned these for 3 years, maybe. He bought them both at that show at the fairgrounds. So.
Thank you, though, for what you did. 2,050, 2,000, 2,050, all done. Going to be 2050. 2,000, 2,050. Last call, 2,050. Sold it, $2,000. 159 a buyer, 159. Raise your sights here, gang.
I'm okay.
Take her on up here. Take her on up and down.
Sorry.
You're all right.
Hey, take a look there, guys. New Holland. Tom out here.
Boy, they don't live
Okay, we're going to ask Tom on this one before we sell. I did talk to him this morning. I know I had that bucket photographed separate, but the bucket was not on the tractor. When I was out there, he had the grapple on and done some switching around. He wants to sell this tractor with the bucket on it, so that's what we're going to do. These hydraulic hoses, these extra long hydraulic hoses, we're going to sell with the grapple. They do not sell with the tractor. I think he had them zip tied at one time, but they're making free now. So we're going to sell just this New Holland tractor loader, and bucket. Start me off, guys.
12,000.
12,000. Here's a 13, 13, 12, and 13, 13. Bottom of 13,000. Number 12. What do you get? 13. And then 13,000. 13. Where? 13, 13. Now 14,000. And then 14, 14. Bottom 14. Now 15,000. And then 15. And then 15. Bottom of 15,000.
Okay, here I got to talking to somebody, so I'm going to cut that conversation out. The New Holland tractor did not sell. I want to say it brought around like 18,000, and the guy wanted 20-some for it. So that tractor did not sell. And then I didn't get a lot of the footage of anything else after this. So just take what you get, I guess. But at this point, we had bought 2 tractors. So that's more than I figured we would. Anyway, now we'll pick it up with the livestock trailer.
You have a title right there. I think we called it 20 foot, 24 foot. I don't remember, but what you see is what you get right there, gang. And how many dollars right there? And you tell me, guys, on the stock trailer, how many dollars? $2,500, $2,000. Here's a 2x2 where it's got $1,000 worth of lumber in it. $1,000 where? Who's the $1,000 where? $1,000 where? $1,000 where? Who's the $1,000 where? It's gonna be 500. Have I got 5 and gonna be 5 where? You said 5 and 600. I'm gonna buy 5 and 600. And 6 and 7, 10. Bubble 7 gonna be 700. 6 and 7, 10. Gonna be 700. 607. I'll 600. 7, 7, 700. 600. 6 and a half. Gonna be 650. 600. 6 and a half. And gonna be 650 where? Gonna be 650. I'll 600. 6 and a half. Half. Gonna be 6. You said 650. Now 700. 7 where? I'll 650. Now 7. 7. 700. Gonna be 7.
All right, friends. If you weren't paying enough attention, I bought 2 tractors just now, and I came for this 12. That one should go on the trailer, no problem. This G, I can't believe that I won. Grandpa always wanted one, so thereby I've always wanted one too. And I'm afraid it might be a little wider than, it's gonna be close. Friends, it's gonna be close. I gotta measure my trailer. I was thinking my trailer was 79, but if it's 80 inches, I could get it on there. I could probably get it on half a tire. This one runs, so this will be no struggle. We can get that drove up on a trailer. Yeah. And then this, I can't believe I got that, because I've tried to buy one of those for years and could never get it done. And I gave $1,500 for that. It's a little rough, and it's been, I mean, rattle can restored, but for me not being a deer guy, I'm okay with it. It's got some stuff that needs to be made more better, and we can do that on videos and things. Satisfy some deer people, you know, little change of pace. But I think this is a screaming deal. I bid on this one, but I didn't end up getting it. The motor was stuck on this 20, but it came from the same place as the 12. The old guy that I knew had them both, and he sold them about 3 years ago maybe. So anyway, the 20s, the motor's not working. So either the clutch is stuck or the engine's stuck. I messed with it a little yesterday, but I don't really want to spend that much money. I already spent more than what I thought. I figured I would spend about $1,500 today, maybe a little bit more, because I was going to bring home that 12, but then it was so cheap I ended up buying 2, so I'm okay with that. This one, we just need to, that gas tank needs painted and put in there. This gas tank leaks, and at the fair one year it leaked out all over there and did that. And anyway, I'm gonna see if he will, I'm gonna take that tank to that old guy and see if he'll paint it for me, you know, because he knows what paint he used. But that's cool. I mean, I got one of these. First tractor that Grandpa drove was an F12. And even before, like right before he died, I was asking him about it. He said, I can remember that day like yesterday, when his dad said, hop on that thing and pull it through the gate. So there we go. But we got 2 more things to play with. We just got to get them home now. Look at this. He was just saying he wanted to be recorded, and then he stopped talking as soon as the camera come on. Oh, man.
Your ratings will go up.
They will, yeah, they'll go up because I met a real celebrity.
You might not have any ratings.
He's the most famous.
You want to see a famous woodcutter here, Joe Mass.
Is that okay? He's a famous woodcutter.
From Jennings, Kentucky.
Oh, that's where they got the money over there.
Yeah. You want to see somebody from Pistol City? There's Blair. You know him?
Oh, I know him, yeah.
He'll probably make the ratings go down.
Yeah, oh, goodness. All right, friends. So the plan, as it stands, I got a neighbor who bought some stuff, including this wagon, which is now hooked to my pickup. So I'm going to pull this wagon home for him. And then I'm going to get my trailer, put that F12 on there, and he's going to go home and get his trailer and put that G on there and haul it back for me. So trading, see, makes it work good. We all work together. So that's the plan. He bought another, like a wagon bed frame. We looked at, I don't know, it's basically channel iron and box tubing. You know, pretty valuable as what it is, I think, even if you don't use it as a wagon bed. And he's trying to get the guy with the loader to come now, and he wants to set it on this wagon frame. And then, you know, that'll be one less thing to fool with. Because, you know, if he puts it on his trailer, then he's got to unload it first. But if he puts it on this wagon frame, he can just park him out of the way somewhere and be done with it. So that's what his plan is. He's standing out there waiting, trying to get the loader guy to, you know, be on board with this, and then we'll start our journey home. So I hope this wagon trail's good. I know nothing about it, but we're gonna try it and see what happens. Well, friends, this is gonna be quite the journey because this old gear it does not track very good. I would have expected better from it, but we can go about 8 miles an hour and it tracks fairly decently, but it's all over the road. Like, I don't know. I think when I get to the end of the road up here, or I'm gonna wait for him before we start down the highway, because this is nuts. I mean, I just don't know about it. I would rather have him behind me in case something slides off or whatever, but you can't see anything either because of this rain. It's all over my mirrors. This truck has the plain Jane setup. It doesn't have heated mirrors, so I can't see exactly what's happening. I can see the corner of it a little bit, but that thing pulls way crooked. I mean, that's unbelievable, really. I think he got a smoking deal on it, but I'd say he's gonna have to do some work on it before he takes it to do his hay business down the highway. I don't know. I don't want to take out any mailboxes or anything. The tail of the wagon is off to one side. I don't know how to describe that, but fun times. Okay, new plan. We made it partway down the road and he got behind me and he called and he said, hey, he said, pull over somewhere and unhook that wagon. He said, that's not gonna work because it's got a lot of slop in it. So we're gonna haul tractors first and then come back and he can get it on his gooseneck. He's got a winch. So I'll probably ride along with him and help him with that or what have you. But the problem is it's gonna be dark here before too long if we don't get on the ball. So that's what, yeah, that's just the plan. I mean, it's just funny how I don't know, it's stuff works out. You thought you had it figured out and we're gonna help somebody out, but yeah, that was a little too much slop to pull down the highway for as long as we had to go, because it would be, I couldn't go over 10 miles an hour with it, and it would have been over an hour to get home at that speed, I'm afraid. So it probably would have been like 2 hours. So anyway, we tried, but we didn't make it, so we'll figure it out. But we're gonna haul tractors first, and then like I said, I'm gonna take my little trailer for the steel wheel tractor, because he doesn't need to tear up his floor on a gooseneck, and then try to get a steel wheel tractor up on a gooseneck is a kind of a tall order sometimes. So anyway, it's just one thing after another, friends, one thing after another. But I'm kind of glad he had the same thought I did about pulling the plug on that wagon, because that would have, I would not have looked forward to taking it down this busy highway where it's curvy and you can't see, and driving slow, and I don't know. So I don't know why it has to rain now that you know, the part when we need to move stuff, now it's going to start to rain, but that's okay. We will make it work, friends. We always do. All right, friends, after much struggle bus, we're loaded up. Luckily somebody was here to run the loader, and he ended up pushing both tractors on, pulling them on. My friend's trailer neighbor there, he has a winch on it, and well, let me back up. This F12 I knew that we would have to push up on or winch up on or something, and anyway, so that was no problem. That G runs, and I thought, hey, we'll drive it up on the trailer, you know, no problem. I got about halfway up, it died. Guess what? Out of gas. Didn't think to bring gas because it was running. I thought surely it'll have enough to get on the trailer. No dice. No one here had gas. So we thought we'd use his winch on the trailer to pull it up. But then his winch didn't want to work, and we fooled with that for longer than I care to admit. And we tried and tried and tried. And anyway, we finally got the loader guy to just pull it up on, and we figured out that one of his cables is bad on the winch. But the problem we're gonna have is we were gonna use his winch to get his wagon up on there. So yeah, I hope that he's going. I don't see him moving. I see the tractor still on, sitting motionless, and the hood up on his pickup. I hope that I hope that our problems didn't translate into troubles with the pickup. Maybe I should go back down. What turned into a simple affair where I thought we were going to, you know, help each other out and it was going to be easy for both of us, turned into a lot of work for both of us, and I hate that, because, you know, I wish I could have pulled his wagon home and that would have saved us a trip, but it wasn't really safe. So I thought he was following me, but now I'm worried that there's trouble and I gotta jump. Okay, there he comes. All right, I don't know if it's not batteries, it's tires. It's just, it's one of those things, friends, where it just, life can never just be simple, you know. It's always got to be struggle bus. But we're gonna stop hopefully at the gas station, and we're gonna hope that the gas pump hoses long enough, because I want to put some gas in that G, and so we can just start it up and drive it off. And I used my last gas at home last night, actually, because the darn lawnmower ran out of gas, and if I hadn't have poured it all in there, I would have gas right now. And I should have brought the cans along so I could fill it. But I learned a lesson at an auction several years ago which is don't take your gas cans to an auction because someone will steal them. And sure enough, they did. Empty. They were empty in the back of my truck. And they stole all the nice plastic ones and they left the crappy metal ones behind. So anyway, lesson learned. Don't take your gas cans to an auction. But if I was smart enough, I would have stopped on the way back and brought some, but I didn't think I had to. I thought everything was going to be fine. You know, I thought if the tractor didn't run for some reason, we would have a winch. But the winch left the chat. So that's just how it goes when you're trying to get stuff done before dark, you know. So that's fine. Hopefully our little F12 will hang on to the trailer and we'll be good to go. Well, is his wagon still there? Yes, it is, so that's good. So we made it that far, but we'll be back. We'll get his wagon. It's just one of these frustrating situations, you know. Oh, friends, our auction addiction is catching up with us. We haven't had time to put anything away, but we made it back. I'm telling you what, that G is going to be fun to play with because that thing is a horse. I don't care what color tractors you like. That is cool. I was a little nervous backing it off the trailer because we only had 2 ramps, you know, so you had to ease off the front end off the same and go off kind of crooked. And the thing has so much torque that if you engage the clutch, it wants to hop. So you had to really be careful getting it off the trailer. And anyway, got it off the trailer and I revved it up and just jammed the clutch in, and it picks the front end up off the ground. That was pretty cool. So yeah, well, we're gonna go back now and try to get his wagon, and I'm hoping that I can just back it on with this pickup, you know. That'll save us some struggle bus problems, you know. And then hopefully our lives are complete, you know. But I'm excited now because I want to play with my toys. But anyway, we'll be out of daylight. I won't have got you a video today either because it's just too, I just didn't, I can only edit so long. Like I usually edit at night while I'm laying in bed or whatever, because the iPad works pretty easy for that. But I can only watch it so many times and then I can't take it anymore because I just lived it in real life, you know. So sometimes I guess there'll have to be a break, but I'll try to keep them coming to you. So yesterday's video was pretty late, so just pretend that's today's video if you didn't see it last night. So sure. Well, hopefully this is our last load of the day, because this wagon has proved to be a real struggle bus. We worked and worked to get it to fit on the trailer because I don't know if I videoed it enough where you could see how it was made, but the gear is too short for the length of that bed. Somebody took a truck bed and thought they were going to make a real nice wagon, which they would have, but they didn't lengthen the gear enough. So like putting it on the trailer, it would scrape the ground or it would hit the trailer. We tried different ways. I ended up using my winch that I carry with me and we chained it to the frame of his trailer and then put the little what do you call those? It's on the tip of my brain and I can't think of it. The little pulley with that you can run the cable through, you know. And we hooked that to the tongue of the wagon and then ran the cable back to the frame on the opposite side so it would try to pull up straight. But the wagon tracked so funny that it didn't even want to go on the trailer straight. So we had to rehook a couple times. But we got it on there. We had to tie his ramps up because his ramps are made to fold over and lay on the dovetail. So I think we got her. I don't think it's going to come off of there, but I'm going to follow behind so that, you know, I guess my truck is going to stop that wagon when it falls off, and hopefully it'll steer off into the woods and it won't hit anybody or anything, and then we'll just drive away and pretend we don't know what happened. So I don't know, that he had a screaming deal. I want to say I think he only gave like $275 for that wagon. And if that's true, that's a screaming deal for what he got, because that'll make a beautiful wagon if he turns the bed around so that that rack is on the back. But it's funny that you bought this. It looked really nice, and it looked like, hey, we'll just pull this home. And I didn't get a couple miles away, and that thing was all over the place. Even if I was going 10 miles an hour, I mean, I was down to like 8 miles an hour. So it would have took like, it would have took probably 3 hours to get home. I mean, I don't know. Maybe not quite that much, but definitely probably would have took 2. So anyway, I'm gonna follow behind him, and then we're gonna hopefully make it in such a way that all the pieces are there when he gets home. But I'm glad that this worked out, because he helped me haul. I think that G might have fit on my little trailer, but it would have been close. It would have been rubbing the sides. And yeah, sure, it's fun to rub the sides, but if you can't hit the front, why, it's probably not in good enough. So yeah, that's just good advice for any time. But I don't know, we might learn on that one how hard it is to move the wheels in, because if I could move them in just an inch, then it would go on that trailer and it'd be easy to take places. But I don't know that I'll ever take it anywhere, but I probably would take it to the fair. But anyway, that's a thing for another day. One of these days I need to get that semi, and that would have been great too. That would have been great for this wagon, actually. But I have had trouble getting the insurance on it, because my insurance lady went to prison or whatever. I don't know, she probably got out by now, but they sent me a letter and said she doesn't sell insurance anymore. And so I haven't been able to talk to anybody about getting that put on insurance, whatever I need, or so it's just been sitting. I've been renewing plates and it's just been sitting. But that's life, you know. I want to make sure that I got everything squared away before I take it on the road, and it really needs work before I would take it on the road. And like today, those 2 tractors, I don't know that that would have been the best rig to haul those on. I could have winched one up to the very front and then lowered the bed down, chained it down, run the winch underneath it, and then tipped it back up in the air and went again, I guess. But it has its limits too. I mean, I don't know. The main reason I bought that semi with that trailer is for major meltdowns, you know. If I had something just totally chuck a transmission in the middle of the road, I could go get that and drag it on with that winch and get the pieces home, and not have to have them call the wrecker service that does that stuff, because when they come out, you'd have a $5,000 bill pretty quick. So the truck is actually the cheaper option, I think. And then I could potentially use it for other stuff too, whenever we get to that point. But whatever, friends. I'm getting tired. It's been a long day. I didn't anticipate buying everything I bought, but I'm thrilled about it, actually. So we'll look at that stuff whenever I get home. It might have to be tomorrow, because we may not have enough daylight, you know. And then we need to unload the trailer so we can immediately go tomorrow and get more stuff. So I don't know, we'll just see how it goes. What do you say, Buddy the dog? Huh? You been having a fun day? I tell you what, it is cold now. We've reverted back into a different season or something. But man, so today was one of those days where it turned out totally different than I envisioned. I went with 0 expectations, and I came home with 2 new treasures. Let's start with the one on the trailer, and we'll look it over a little bit. We'll have another video where we just mess with it and try to get it running and drive it around. But anyway, this tractor, an F12 Farmall on steel. Why? Well, a couple reasons. number one, an F12 on steel is the first tractor that my grandpa ever drove. And like I said, he really wanted one back. Even he even talked about that just before he died, about he remembered so clear that day when he first got to drive it. So, and then another reason why this particular tractor is, a very good friend of mine owned this. He fixed it up and he had it for years. And I kind of asked him about it once, and whatever, he wasn't really ready to sell. And then when he was, I guess I probably just didn't have the money that he wanted, because I think he wanted like, I don't know, 1,800 maybe for it. Well, he finally had enough, and he decided, I'm going to sell it. So he took it to that show that we have at the fairgrounds, and for a while they tried to have a consignment auction. And anyway, it went there, and it's actually on one of my videos when this sold, probably about 3 years ago.
F12, and then we got the F20. On the F12, ladies and gentlemen, take a look. Right there, all steel wheels. Item number 42. Item number 42 there. You might have to get a little closer. It's cutting out, may have went dead, I don't know. Here to ride the gray one. On the gray, F12. Right there you go, and I'm in another here, and you tell me, here to the 2,500. In the 25, over the 25. Here to the 25. Someone give me $2,000. Here to the 2 on the F12. Someone give me 1,500 on the gray. F12 with steel wheels. I have 400, 500. I have 4, now 5. 500, not able to be 5. Able to be 4, now 5, 5, 5, 5. Able to be 500. Able to be 4, now 5, 5, 5, 5, 6. And that's 600, not able to be 6, now 5.5, 6. Now half, 6, 9, 7, 7.5, 7.5, 8, 800 and a half, 8, 9, able to be half, able to be 50. 12, over 25, 12, 25. 1225. I got you 1200. We're gonna sell when we're done. 1225. 1225. Now 15. 1275. 1275. 1275. 1275. 1275. 1275. 1275. Sold them there. 12 and a half. Our buyer number is 220. 220. 220. Next up is the F20. The last item for the sale, folks. Item number 43. What did you say about, you've got brand new tires, round spoke wheels, the tractor itself, it's stuck.
If I can sell the wheels, it can have the tractor.
There you go. He'd like to get his money back on the tires and the wheels. Folks, he's got a lot of money just in the rear tires and wheels there. The tractor itself is stuck right there. Here's by the F20 there. How many numbers here? Now we're 2,000. I have 200, 300, 300 and more. 400 3 and a half, 3 now 4, now half, every 4 now, 5, now half, 5 now, 5.5, I have a long way to go, 5.5, every 5, 5 and a quarter, 550, now 75, 75, down 75, 1100, 11 and a quarter, 11 and a quarter, 1100, 11 and a quarter, 11 and a quarter, 1100, 11 and a quarter, 1100, 11 and a quarter, 1125, 1125, take 1,700. I can say so. Bill, 1,700. You want to make me an offer above where we're at? 1,100. Was it 1,100? 1,100. He'll do 13. He will do 1,300 on the tractor.
Sell it.
Sold. You bought it. $1,300. That will complete the auction for 2022 here.
And the guy that we bought from today, he was bidding, thinking he was bidding on that F20 that was also at the sale. And then when the auctioneer said sold, he said, oh, he said, I thought I was bidding on that one. And he said, no, you're bidding on this one. Well, then he just ended up buying them both. And we'll have to look back at the video. I'm going to do that later. I don't know what it is either, but I want to say he gave like $1,300 for it there, because I was surprised that the guy that I knew let it go for that. But anyway, this tractor came from Crawford County, Indiana, as far as I recollect, because that's where this guy was from. And when he started collecting IH tractors, he started with the territory where he grew up, so he gathered them together. Distinguishing feature would be, like I pointed out the other day, on that one I believe that's a brake handle. That is a shotgun barrel flattened out and drove on there. And when he went to restore it, the old guy who he bought it from said something about it, and he said, well, I'm just going to leave that on there then, because that's character. But that's what's going on there. So you could find that tractor a mile away, you know. The other thing is, when I first saw it all those years ago, it had 2 double wheels on it, you know, tricycle like. Well, they were flat wore out. He said that when he was looking for some, because I guess it probably had like cut off steel on it or something on the front, he said when he was looking for some, he had talked to somebody and he said, oh yeah, they're out there in where the hogs are. And he actually like dug around in the ground and found these 2 steel wheels. And he said they were so rusty that they wouldn't hold the races for the bearings anymore. So he just JB welded them in and put them on the tractor. And all he did with this tractor was just take it to the fair, back it in the building, take it to the fair, you know. And he didn't do that every single year. So anyway, several years ago, he went to an auction down around where he grew up, and he saw the, I don't know if he saw the yoke leaning inside the barn somewhere, and then he asked somebody, and they said, oh yeah, there's a wheel around here somewhere. And so he found this single wheel, and that's what he put that on, and he took the other ones off and put it on a tractor that he painted up and put in his front yard. So anyway, that's how it ended up with single front wheel and what have you. Extra gas tank. One time, and it's a shame because the guy we got it from looks like he left this sit down in the dirt, and it's going to, we need to clean that up and whatever. But he had this all restored for years, and then one year at the fair it was sitting there and it started leaking gas, and it leaked gas the whole week at the fair till it ate all the paint off that shield and stuff, and the tank is just, it's pretty bad under there. And he said, you know, the worst part's going to be trying to match the paint and get it to match. So he did find another tank finally that's good, and this went with it on that auction, and so there it is now. I just hope that it's still good. We'll have to investigate inside. I'll clean that up and try to prime that rusty part, and then I'm going to see if he will, I'm going to try to talk to him and see if he knows what color that is, or if he will possibly, he was a very good painter at one time. He did that, he worked at Cummins, and he actually did the painting at Cummins. But he can paint really beautifully on sheet metal and stuff. And so I'm going to see if maybe he would be willing to paint that tank for me, or at least help me so that I could make it possibly match somehow close. And I'll probably take that clutch cover shield off too, and if we don't want to paint that gray, we'll paint it something else like black or something, just so it's not wrinkly, half eaten off. But and then the thing's got, you see, it's actually like 2 tanks in one, because you had your starting tank and then you had your kerosene in there, whatever, and you switched it over after you got it running. But this tractor should run. It ran not that long ago. I remember when it ran, so and it's not stuck. I was worried that maybe it was neglected and stuck, but it's not. And I went to buy this. I mean, that was the whole reason I went to this sale. The hood was missing in the pictures, and the other day when I was there with the auctioneer, could not find the hood. Today the hood magically shows up, so we got all the stuff that we need. But anyway, this is why I went to buy that auction, or why I went to that auction, was to try to buy this, expecting that I was going to spend over $1,000. $575, I think, is what I gave for this tractor, and it's worth every bit of that to me. So that's going to live here now. That's pretty cool. Now we'll talk about this other horse that's over here, because this probably blows people's minds, that why would you buy this? Well, I didn't even think I was going to buy it while it was happening. But then I thought, you know what? I've looked for one of these for years and tried to buy them from different places and never got it done. And what did I give? $1,400, $1,500 for this, running and driving G with air in all 4 tires. And I couldn't say no to that. I thought I'm never going to find one that cheap again. And it runs pretty decent-ish, you know? It's not a beauty queen. If you look at it close, it's got a lot of sins on it. The tires aren't great. I think they're actually, they might be mismatched. And it was rattle can restored, and it's not been, you know, it's beat up a little bit. We could do better on some, and we probably will over time. The gauges looks like they just sandblasted and ruined them or something. I don't know exactly. I've never seen something like that happen. So we don't know anything about the gauges. The wiring is questionable at best. I mean, look at that. That's not even hooked up. They just twisted this hot wire into that hot wire, and that's how they've been operating. So that's not going to work. It needs better wiring. These lights need to go away. We need to put lights back wherever they were supposed to be from the factory. I was thinking they clamped on this, on here somehow, but a G is different, so I'm not exactly sure what's what. This is crap. I mean, I think that maybe I'm going to try to see if we can find another one or what we got to do here. That's actually kind of, I got to thinking, I wondered if they shortened it a little bit to try to get it to fit underneath of a low shed or something. But the grills aren't perfect. I don't know if they reproduce these. If they do, I might just buy a reproduction set of grills and save us that hassle. Because I didn't do that on that B that was my great-grandpa's, and I kind of regret that because it was a lot of work to get the new stuff welded in and whatever. A while ago when my neighbor was here and we did this, he said, hey, that belt's not turning on that water pump. So I don't know what's going on there. I guess the belt's just loose. See, you got to understand, these drive from the fan. The fan drives the other two things. It's also unusual that, oh, it doesn't have water in it at all. That's probably very important, isn't it? I do not see water. It's a good thing we didn't run it very much. I wonder if boy, that's a hack job there. We need to redo that. Somebody loved the old gray silicone, didn't they? That looks like garbage. Well, I was going to drive it now, but we need to put water in it, and we probably need to tighten this up before we do anything. Look at this, just hanging. That's the kind of stuff we need to make better, and we'll get all new gauges. It does have a serial number on it, so that's good. I like tractors that have the serial number tags. Some people don't care, but to me, that just makes it more valuable. Well, I did a good thing and then I didn't. I was going to try to read it. Can we see? I'm going to try to look up what year it is, because this is obviously a later one because it's got the battery box seat, which is not, I think that happened in like 47, but maybe they didn't do all the models at the same time that way, because, you know, there were different years of different things. Let's look at the tractor data on this. What did I say? Oh, these don't match at all. 5. See, okay. So let's see, 5, 19, 8. This would be a 1952 model G. It's a late style G. The style Gs, I think, came out in 42, maybe. And what they had to do, because it was during wartime, if I have this story right, don't take my word for anything, but because of the war, you weren't allowed to build any things, you know. But if they wanted to release this tractor, they had to give it a new model designation, so they called it a GM. during the wartime, and it would have had a pan seat and been basically, I think it was hand start only, I don't know, all of that. But anyway, this being a later one, this is what I always wanted because it matches my B. It's also battery box under the seat. It's more similar, although they did not do a lot of updating or creature comforts on these, because they just didn't, friends. I mean, they never fully enclosed the flywheel, and the starter's up here on top of the platform instead of like on the B. It's up underneath in a hole, and then this is all shrouded in. And I don't know that they ever made one, a G, that was all shrouded in. They just kept some of the older designs. But friends, this sucker is a horse. I mean, it is. I'm very curious to know whether it's going to hold water or whether there's a reason why. The radiator, the fan's been into the radiator at one time. Huh. Interesting stuff. But this thing is going to be fun because I've always wanted one, and just preliminarily driving it around here, it is a horse. I mean, it's something. We can do better with painting, I think, because this one, I don't know. They painted the wheel one way and never turned it and finished painting. But I'm thinking, I'm not usually on board with this, but for this, I'm thinking chrome stack. You know, I think we could hear this thing bark, because they definitely do the thing. What did somebody do here? Okay, I wondered if you could do that. There is a way to plumb into the power troll and use Pioneer couplers. So we obviously need to redo that and whatever, because I was thinking the best way to hear this thing run would be a pull-type plow. And I have a 4-bottom Oliver pull-type plow. If we could hook up Pioneer couplers to it and get that hydraulics to work, we could take it out and just let her eat and see the thing bark. But it's not perfect, but like I said, I got what I think is a screaming deal on it, and I think that you can't go wrong with that. I actually have to play with this. It is not even optional at this point. I'm going to go get a 1/2-inch wrench and try to tighten this belt. I'm going to get some antifreeze and pour it in there, and hopefully it stays and doesn't run out on the ground. But I got to hear this run again. It's too much fun. But there's definitely things on it that need attention. But that is not today's problem. Let me go get some stuff, and we'll see if this will go. All right. The good news is it's holding water. So I would say what happened is that it never got put back in after they changed the water pump. So hopefully it wasn't ran too long. Bad news is here, we got to get a different belt because this is maxed all the way out. You go up to go tight, and somebody decided they'd get themselves a welder for Christmas, and they welded this plate to the bracket back there so the regulator stays up here, and it's really bizarre. That all needs to be changed, but so does all the wiring and everything. So does the fuel line situation, the rubber hose against the manifold. That's not really my thing, but you know, because that's the exhaust manifold that the rubber hose is against, you know. So that should probably be a steel line, is what I'm saying. Do we try to go like, do we try to go this? That's worse. That's not better. Just stuck on there, you know, because things. Not really a good way to deal with that. There's the original. So obviously what they did is they did away with the selector valve, which you switched from your 2 tanks on this one too, but that's okay. Will this start without opening the petcocks? I doubt it. No, I don't think so. Let's do this. 2-cylinder things, you know, you just got to do. Open the petcocks. lower the compression so that it will run. Get sprayed because they put it right towards you. Oh, you know what? Don't be dumb. That's step number one. There's no way this thing's charging the battery, so it may be about out. We might have had all the fun we can today, because it may not go. Oh, come on, baby. A while ago you did it. Come on. Oh, dummy. It's gonna go now. Turns out they need the key turned on to run. This is not like my B. I got that where it's turning though, so that's cool. Yeah. All right. We gotta drive it. We got to. Talk about a horse. Now this one's got two separate sticks. It's got the high-low on its own shifter. Let's get it out there. Oh, in the driveway. It'll leap off the ground. To drive a hand clutch with one hand. I wanted to try some other gears, but what's this gear? Sure, this is low range, right? Oh, that was low range, okay. Into the pickup. Whoa. How low will you idle? This thing actually runs pretty sweet. You can't complain about that. Awesome. Awesome. Let's shut the fuel off. Let's shut it off. Good tractor. That is sweet. Not my usual color, but still awesome. That's just that right there, friends. American horsepower. That is so cool. 2 pistons as big as a soup can, you know, or the industrial size soup cans, I should say. I mean, just something to think about. The guys coming up with that design. Who would have come up with that? Not me. I would have come up with something different, I think. But it worked. And these things did a lot of work in their day. And just like that B I've got, same way. Pretty cool. This and this 12, both. I just like tractors. What can I say? And it was like thinking about this, it kind of, I had to take a minute there a while ago because, like I said, Grandpa would love this. These were like, he wanted these over the years. A 12 and a G. 2 of the tractors definitely on his want list. And we could never get it done while he was alive. But that is so cool. I mean, we'll have a video messing with this one because I'm sure it will run. It's just how much effort do I want to spend cranking it. It might be easier to belt it up to something else, but we need to straighten that out. The G, we really don't need to be doing any field work with it until we straighten out some of the issues, because it's got some issues. I see that the frame is cracked, so that might also need to be addressed. I wonder why the frame would crack. Could it have anything to do with the tractor jumping a foot off the ground when you really give it the onions? I don't know. I'll probably ride that pony into the ground, though. I don't know if I'll fix that. Just something. I don't know. I still think it's cool. It's got, definitely, with what we got in it, we got plenty of room to work on it and still be within the price range of what G's bring. So we'll start with the simple things that it desperately needs, and we'll go, you know, farther as we need to. But as far as a sweet runner, I don't think you're going to find one that runs better than this. I mean, that is a sweet running tractor, and I do not regret my purchase for a second. I mean, they don't get cheaper than that and run better than that. So that's awesome. We just need to give it a little bit of love and do it a little bit better. Like, for instance, this I'm pretty sure goes down here. Maybe it goes up here. I can't remember. I've seen them both ways. It might be a year thing. One's different than the other. Supposed to have John Deere up here. I don't know. Should be painted on all the sides, not just the side that was up when you painted it. That's kind of funny in a way. That, whatever. I mean, to each his own, friends, to each his own. But I think it's cool. You can argue with me or whatever. I know that's not, it's the Oliver man, but I brought home a John Deere, oh my goodness, and a Farmall, but I think it's cool. So I like all tractors, and there's some models that I just think are cool no matter what, and I don't apologize for that for a second. So anyway, we're gonna leave this one here. As always, friends, keep watching the videos. Watch them again and again, because the more you watch, the more I can afford to do stuff like this. And you know, and then you can have fun watching it and the adventures. Today was a super fun day. Even like with my neighbor hauling stuff, that was fun. It was a struggle. Like we worked and worked to get his wagon home. That was the most difficult piece out of everything today, but it worked out. And like he said too, he said, I had a good time today. And I agree. It was a fun time. I love auctions. I love to visit with people I haven't seen for a long time. And I really like it when you can go to an auction and afford to buy things. And that was the case today. So pretty sweet. But like I was about to say, as always, keep watching the videos, do all that stuff. But as always, thank you for watching. And I'll see you in the next one.